Today we're going to look at solving percent equations. Here's an example of a percent statement. 10 is 25% of 40. In this statement, 10 is called the amount, 25 is the percent, 40 is called the base. The word is replaced by an equal sign. The word of is replaced by a multiplication. So anytime you see the word of, you think of multiplying. So the amount is equal to the percent times the base. We're going to look at 3 examples here. One where we want to find the amount, another where we want to find the percent, and another where we want to find the base. Now I want to reiterate here that anytime you're translating a percent statement into an equation, you need to remember that is replaced by an equal sign, of is replaced by the multiplication symbol, and the words what number will be replaced by a letter, usually X, or any letter. The X is called the unknown, or in algebra we call it the variable. It's the value that we are looking for. So let's look at a situation where we are finding the percentage of a number. Here's an example. What number is 1% of 8,700? Now remember, what number will use X? Is equal sign of multiplication. So the equation becomes X equals 1% times 8,700. Now, anytime we're doing a problem like this, the percentage needs to be expressed as a decimal. You should know that 1% is 1/100th, or 0.01, times 8,700. And then you, of course, can do your multiplication on your calculator. So on your calculator, you're going to take 0.01, and you're going to multiply it by 8,700 to get 87. So my X value here is 87. And of course, I go back and I plug in 87 in for the unknown, just to make sure my answer makes sense. So if I did, it says what number is, what percent of 8,700 becomes 87 is 1% of 8,700, and that makes sense. Here's another example. Second example we're going to look at is this. 52 is 80% of what number? Here we're looking to find the base. So let's translate it into an algebraic equation. Is of what number? We'll use the letter n here. So here's the equation. 52 equals 80% times n. Whenever we have a percent, we change it to a decimal. 80% as a decimal is 0.80 times n. which algebraically can be written as 0.80 n. To solve this equation for n, I divide each side of the equation by 0.80, which means I can cancel those to find my n value. Again, let's go to our calculator, and we're going to divide 52 by 0.8, and we get 65. So my answer here is 65. I'm just going to go back and verbally plug that into the original question. 52 is 80% of 65. And that too makes sense. Okay, my third and last example is when we are looking for the percent. So here we go. What percent of 1,400 is 1,050? What percent? Let's use the letter P. Of, multiply, is, equals. Now we translate. P times 1,400 equals 1,050. In algebra, we typically put the number 1,400 before the letter P. 1,400p means 1,400 times p. 1,400 is called the coefficient of p. I'll just write that in as a possibly new word, coefficient. So 1,400p is equal to 1,050. Again, to solve this equation, we divide by the coefficient of p. Cancel to find p on our calculator. So we're going to put in 1,050 divided by 1,400 gives me 0.75. Now, if you go back to the original problem, notice the question was what percent. Therefore, we want to express our answer as a percent, not as a decimal. We know that to change a decimal to a percent, we multiply it by 100, which is done by moving the decimal point 2 places to the right to get our answer, 75%. So plugging it in verbally into the equation, 75% of 1,400 is 1,050.